Real America, well, it's happened again, and I got to say I was totally shocked. The Con Network, oh, wait a minute, I mean CNN. Sorry, it said C-O-N. No, I actually mean the Con Network. No, but I was shocked over the weekend because CNN actually went after a Democrat on their air. Whoa, can you believe it? Last week we showed you how Wolf Blitzer actually went after Nancy Pelosi about the stimulus deal, right? Now it's CNN's Jake Tapper. That's right, he went after Speaker Pelosi yesterday, and why it seems like she's just been refusing to pass a coronavirus relief bill. Tapper emphasized to Pelosi how the White House has actually even moved closer to what she's asking for by allocating more funds, but yet she still refuses to help you, the American people, when the president has the olive branch extended. Take a look at the exchange.
And it seems like you could take yes for an answer.
Well, as soon as they say this is it, in our negotiations, yes, that is the case.
Come on, Nancy, get to work. Reach out to our president. Make a deal. Families are hurting. All right, our next guest, a very outspoken conservative female voice for the Trump campaign. She is the co-chair of Women for Indian Voices for Trump. Mrinalini Kumari joining Real America. Hello, how are you?
Nice to be here, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us. First and foremost, since you are an outspoken voice for females that support President Trump, let's talk about what's going on right now on the Senate floor. They are voting. It is historical. We're 8 days to go. The Democrats are foaming at the mouth and so upset, but we are going to have a Justice Amy Coney Barrett when we wake up in the morning. How do you feel about that?
Yes, we will. And the Democrats are still not being able to come forth and say whether they're going to back the court after this or no. At least what with President Trump, it's what you see is what you get. He says something, he does it, he delivers it, he doesn't back down from it. Well, the Democrats can't even come forth and say what are they going to do.
Right. Well, just last week, you saw Biden finally give a little inclination when he said that once he gets in, he will start a commission to look into whether or not they should add seats to the court. We've had 9 people on this court for, 150 years or more. I don't understand, unless someone in this is brain dead, why you can't see it. It's right there in front of your face that the only reason they would want to pack or stack, whatever adjective you want to use, the court is to their advantage so they can get things passed that most of the American people, I think, don't want passed. Otherwise, why would you want to change from 9 to, I'm hearing the number 15. That's insane to me.
Well, obviously, the reason they wanted to be packed is because right now there are more Republicans versus more Democrats on the Supreme Court. So, but whichever way it is, come out and tell the truth. Don't pretend one thing and then do something else.
Yeah. Let's talk about 8 days. There's some, I'm hearing 3 to 4% in polls, but you can't believe polls, of voters are still undecided. What do you think President Trump needs to do, or Mr. Biden, if they expect to get those suburban female votes, which we keep hearing so much about over the last week? I'm not sure where you live, but you represent females and minority voices out there, and you're supporting President Trump. So if there are undecideds, what do you think either candidate's going to have to do to try and reach out to those suburban women and get that undecided vote?
They just need to see what's happening in New York City and to see what's happening in the cities to know who they should be voting for. Should they be voting for a person who cannot even stand up and say that we will stand by our police, or when the stores are being looted and buildings are being burned, say something about it, or be with the person who's standing by the police and the law and order? I mean, the police was here all throughout New York City during the COVID. They worked so hard. And for them to be treated this way by Blasio, I think is ridiculous. And people in the suburbs, too, should just need to come to these cities run by Democratic mayors to see what's happening.
Yeah. Just in the last, week or so, we've seen some famous minorities come out who were anti-Trumpers, but have come out now in support of the president. And point blank, the only reason was taxes. I mean, you look at the Biden tax plan, and just like fracking, just like oil, Joey from the block changes every other week, whichever way the wind blows, or whoever's asking him questions, or whatever state he can't remember he's standing in, then he changes on what the tax structure will be if he's elected. What will he do with fracking and oil? Are you hearing from a lot of folks in the Indian community? Because the Indian community, a large community of owned business owners around this country, I got to think when they're looking at the tax structure, I know which way they're going to be voting.
They should be looking at that. I think the Indians have been conned by the Democrats for way too long, like most of the other Americans who think the Democrats would really be doing something for them. They haven't done nothing for anybody for the longest time, hence the reason President Trump did win in 2016.
Yeah, which I think let's hope, we can hope it's going to be a bigger landslide because, and I said this to a previous guest, I'm watching and I'm really worried about Pennsylvania. Sounds like you're in New York. Is that where you're based out of? Okay, yes. So just right next door to you. To me, that state Supreme Court changing the rules just a few weeks ago and allowing these mail-in ballots to come in 3 days after the election, totally illegal, totally unconstitutional, but they are trying to find ways, as far as I'm concerned, to cheat, but they keep saying that Republicans are trying to suppress the minority vote. In your dealings with your communications with the campaign and everything else, what are you hearing about ways that we're trying to ensure that the vote stays legitimate? Because that's one of my biggest concerns. You know, you and I may sit here and we're supporters of the conservative movement of President Trump, but what's going on in all these states out there when it comes to the actual ballots and how they're going to be harvested in, I'm really worried.
I think that there are also so many people who are actually getting up and going out and voting, and it is one Pennsylvania, and while it does absolutely matter, I think that President Trump's base is so strong that they will really make a concerted effort to go out and vote for him. Or it could be the other way around also. I mean, I see a lot of Democratic people. I mean, I've never seen an election that's as energized as this is.
I would agree.
Which in a way is great too.
Yeah, I would agree. If you look over the weekend, Biden pulled out former President Barack Obama last week, then John Bon Jovi, then Cher, and a bunch of these folks, and 32, 15, 42. These are the numbers of people that have shown up, where the president has 25, 35, and 45,000 showing up to these rallies. Quite impressive.
And that's like, it's almost like President Obama is actually wheelchair carrying Biden. If he doesn't even win after that, I mean, just look what the state of the Democrats in this country really is. Between Pelosi and Biden, and they're actually scared of people like AOC. I mean, Biden on his own, to me, is still okay. But for him to not even be able to say what he stands for because he's fearful for the likes of AOC is ridiculous.
Well, he's definitely a puppet for an extreme left-wing agenda. We've all seen it, from the new Green Deal that's absolutely absurd to their tax structure, everything that the extreme left wants and supports through Antifa and other terrorist organizations insane. And for these old school Democrats, I get what you're saying, who used to be a heck of a lot more moderate, you could have a conversation with, exactly. You could try and find an agreement with. They're cowing down to this extreme left-wing movement. We're going to leave it there, Ms. Kumari, because they're wrapping me up. We'll have you back on to discuss more. Let's hope that next week maybe you come on and we have a big smile on our face after Tuesday. Like that one right there. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for coming on. Coming up after the break, abortion on the ballot in 2 states this year, Louisiana and Colorado. We'll take a look at what's facing voters in those states. Plus, the author of a new book, The Choice, The Abortion Divide in America, Danielle D'Souza, joins us to discuss the very hot button topic. Don't go away.